Okay, the external analysis was for the reason of identifying threats and opportunities. To understand the internal analysis as well and whether they have the competencies to face the external analysis is what was the main reason. To face the external environment, whether they have that strengths and weaknesses also what we looked into, and then also to take into consideration the needs of various stakeholders, external analysis would be taken up. Then we've discussed about what is pestle analysis, pest or pestle analysis, what are the factors which come under that. To have an idea about what factors are covered under each aspect of this pestle or pest is what we have looked into. That is how we have to remember that for the examination also, the application part of it. And then we, at length, we've discussed about Porter's five forces. Okay, there are five forces, that is threat of new entrants, the competitors, the peers, competitive rivalry. Then we looked at what is the power of the supplier and buyer and the threat of substitutes. Now, in this case, we have to understand what factors cause threat to the organization and what factors do not actually cause threat to the organization, though they are listed as threats under this model. In what situation can they have an upper hold or face the threat in a effective manner is what we've discussed. Okay, what are the limitations? Um, we've discussed about what are the limitations. That is. The dynamics of industry should be taken into consideration. In case of collaboration also it becomes possible, and that is what happens in the real business scenarios where to face the threat they come together and form into a group and then become more powerful and then face that threat. And then the next one talks about outside in versus inside out. Um, the external analysis, the external factors when we are talking about, um, it may not be so much applicable for those organizations who are more into research, development, innovation, and some of them who are actually the leaders. It may not be applicable for such organization, not applicable for not-for-profit organizations, and then no matter what it is the role of the government is plays very important. So um, Porter has defined these five forces as threat to the organization, but the role of government cannot be overlooked. Most of the time, to face the scenario, to face the situation which arises because of government's policies and procedure, also can act as a threat. Okay. We've discussed about the life cycle analysis, what are the various stages and what happens during this life cycle, how is the risk in each of these stages, and then how to face the risk is what we have to understand. Okay, what are the drivers of changes? Also, we've discussed the other day about a list of items which uh, force them or compel or motivate them to uh, adopt change, go towards change and accept the change. Very important that they accept change and then adopt it according to that. Otherwise, there is a possibility that they may become outdated and they cannot survive in the market. This can also cause a severe problem of becoming a failure in future. So that is the problem with not adopting to change. Okay. Uh, to what causes them to change is what are the drivers of change. The geopolitical issues, increasing customer empowerment when the customers become more powerful, uh, development in digital technology, increasing levels of automation, increasing sustainability awareness, development of high growth emerging economies, increasing globalization, unpredictable demand, and changing technology. Just remember these factors. Let's start from here. Competitor analysis. The next topic what we have here is competitor analysis. How to face the competitors analysis. Okay. So how do we face that one? Identify competitors, existing and potential types. That is brand competitors, industry competitors, firm competitors, and generic competitors. Who are these competitors? What does it mean by brand competitors? What does it mean by brand? Am I audible? Am I audible? Respond. Okay. 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 Brand is the reputation for a. I'm really sorry. Reputation for the certain commodity or service. Yes. Yes. Anyone else? Brand is not the reputation, but brand is um, example like in identity or someone who's selling a similar type of product. Examples can be now if you are talking about clothing, whatever are the brands or Peter England or Arrow or these are brands. Okay. Food products. Then if you groceries, if you think about whatever is that, let's say salt. If you're talking about Tata is one brand, some Annapurna is another brand, like that. Then if you take motor vehicles, motor cars, and all, you have Ford, you have Suzuki, you have Volkswagen. These are brands. What are they doing? What are they into? They are into selling the um, a similar type of product. Okay, a similar type of product is being sold, so they are into sale of similar type of products. Okay, identifying the competitors. First, identify what are the brands. The second one is industry competitors. Industry competitors, industry, a particular category of product or service. Now, that industry, it is not that they are selling in the same market, but the same industry existing in different areas, different regions. Okay, so these are industry competitors. Now, in India, we have airlines as Indigo or something. So, some Cathay Pacific is there. It is in some other country. Then we see Lufthansa as another country. So like that, they they I mean market their products in different regions, industry competitors. Then we have firm competitors. form, it takes different form of the same product. Okay, form competitors, though their purpose is to sell one type of product, but the purpose may be different. Okay, um, Toyota is into selling heavy trucks. So Toyota is also into selling luxury cars or cars for regular use. Okay, the purpose when it differs, then that is called as form competitors. It's the um, same purpose, that is transportation for this example, but then the purpose differs. So when such a thing is there, we call them as form competitors. Generic, what's the meaning of generic? Generic competitors? Generic competitors are general. Uh, they compete for the same number of units, same sales, or same amount of profit, same amount of income. So when they compete for the same amount of a particular variable, we call that as generic competitors. After these four types of competitors are identified, then analyze these competitors. What are the key issues? Understand what are their objectives or goals, what assumptions do they take up, what are their strategies, and what are the resources and competencies. So when competitors are analyzed, identify what are the various types of competition, various types of competitors who are existing has to be first understood, like in terms of brand, industry, form, and generic. These things, once they are understood, after that, their key issues are analyzed. What is the objective? Some of them may be there in the competition, but their objective may be completely different. Somebody is aiming to become number one in the country or number one in the world, so their focus is something different. Some of them are only focusing on serving a particular region. So in that case, the goals are different, the objectives and goals are different. So identify what it is. Some of them may be only to render services and provide quality products or satisfy a particular group of customers, so that can be their focus. So identify what are their objectives or goals. Fine. What assumptions have they made has to be understood. Then we have the strategy. How, what strategy did they adopt? Strategy in terms of what is that they want their organization to do, how do they want to place them, what product do they want to sell, are they into selling multiple products, they have multiple products in their product line, or only they are focusing on one type of product. uh, uh, do they add more features to their products, or do they think about only one type of product with quality aspect focused on? Those things have to be understood in terms of what is their strategy. What are the resources and competencies which they have? Resources, right from capital, material, labor, the technology, what they have, all these resources. And the manpower is very important. How technically sound are the employees, what skill sets do they possess? These things have to be analyzed. After that, develop competitor response profiles. Okay, first competition is identified, analyze the competitors, and after that, develop competitor response profiles. The first one is about laid back. What is laid back? Laid back talks about what is laid back? Any idea what is laid back? They don't take any action, laid back. Okay. Um, they, I mean, they're not bothered about what is happening. Okay. That is laid back. They do not take any action. That's the right answer. Then selective, they only respond to certain things, not to everything. So selective response, when it is needed, when it is appropriate for them to respond, they respond. Otherwise, they do not respond at all. Then tiger is aggressive in nature. So aggressive action. So for every small thing, they take major decisions, react in an aggressive manner. That is tiger. Stochastic. What is stochastic? There is no particular style or pattern in which there is a response. So their response is random. In any, I mean, there is no particular way in which they would respond. So it is unpredictable, no particular pattern, or randomly they respond. That is stochastic. So first, identify all the competitors, analyze the competitors in terms of what is the strategy which they are adopting, what resources do they have, how strong they are, or what are their weak areas. All these things have to be analyzed. After that, develop a competitor response. Either you react or you do not react. And react, when you react, how do you react? Do you react to everything, selective, or react very aggressively? For even small changes also you take major decisions. That is um, aggressive reaction, or there is no particular pattern in which you respond. Then we have Porter's diamond. Just a minute, let's because there's a lot of content we've done. um, let's quickly look at some of the questions and then come back, and then do Porter's. Let's look at some of the questions and then go back to the PPT to do that. Okay. Let's start. 42nd question. L Limited is a small company which offers accountancy services to um, a range of clients. L is relatively new to the market and is considering undertaking formal environmental analysis. Which of the following are purposes of L? Undertaking external environment analysis. Do we have to select only one or multiple? Is it only one option we select, or It is not which one of the following. It says which of the following. So more than one option we can choose. Okay, let me put the PPT so that maybe you can look at that once and then answer the points. Okay, B, C, D. A talks about allows L to assess its competition. Do you think that should be included? Allow L to assess its competition. Others also please respond. Only one student has responded. Whatever you think. Okay, A and E. First, let's discuss whether A is appropriate. Allows L to assess competition. Does it give them a chance to assess its competition? Yes. So A should be included. Fine. Enables to identify its resources. Resources are internal, don't you think so? So should we consider that for external environment analysis? External, we're only looking at the external factor. So for that reason, B will not be the right option. Allows L to gain a deeper understanding its market. Market is external again. So C should be taken. Enables L to understand its industry also is right. Because industry is also, they are part of the industries. That is also an external factor. Then helps L to meet its stakeholders need. E is there because um, once they understand their external environment, they understand about their competencies, whether they can face that. To see that they also serve the stakeholders, various stakeholders. That is again another intention why external analysis is taken up. Fine. So the options are A except B, all the other things A, C, D, and E. '43. X is a large logistics parcel delivery company. As part of its strategic planning process, X has identified several factors in its business environment that seems to be important. Categorize each factor according to pestle analysis. There is increasing pressure on the logistic industry to minimize its carbon footprints. This should be classified as what? Carbon footprint, minimize its carbon. Environmental, where is environmental? F. So F should come here in place of 1. So this is environmental. So option F will fit here. The government is planning a change to employment law to prevent drivers working more than 10 hours in any 24-hour period. This should be classified as. That's right. That's right. C is the right answer. So it's legal. The use of global positioning system and smartphones are now becoming an industry threshold competence. This should be classified as. The current government is unpopular with voters and there may be an election soon. X is unsure of the impact of this would have on their business. This should be classified as dash. Okay, let's move to the next one, 44th question. 44th question. Which two of the following statements regarding pestle analysis are correct? Which two are correct? Whatever you think is correct, you mention. A, you think is correct? Do you think A is correct? B, C, A, C. Tesla analysis is becoming more difficult due to increasing volatility in global market. Do you agree with that? Pestle and the factors are political, economic, social, technological. So, is there increasing volatility in the global market? There are more and more factors which are included under each of this category, isn't it? So it is becoming more difficult due to increasing volatility. That is right. There is a lot of volatility in the global market. So analyzing with the help of pestle model is not such an easy task. So A should be considered. That is right because the global scenario is changing drastically. So then in that case, there's too much of volatility. There is a lot of fluctuation. So there are so many factors which are covered under this particular model of PEST or PSTEL. So analysis becomes difficult. So this is the right thing. A is a right option. Let's see B. Uh, let's see D. D, do you think it is internal and external? Pest is not about internal. So we can rule out D. We can rule out D. So we are left with B and C. We have to choose any one of them. Pestle analysis is prone to bias, which can reduce its usefulness. Pestle analysis focuses on on analyzing the industry that an organization operates within. Is it only restricted to industry? Most of you, I mean, three of you have agreed with C. Is it applicable only to a particular industry? It is not only to one particular industry. It is about the global scenario when there are factors which affect the economy because of its relationship with other foreign countries, foreign exchange fluctuations. Those things are also considered, isn't it? So that is economical factor. Now, in that case, we cannot only restrict it to one particular industry. It is about global scenario. So this can be ruled out. Okay, all those who are agreeing with C as the right option have to understand that C is not the right option because it is not only restricted to one type of industry, but it is including the global scenario. So B, pestle analysis is prone to bias which can reduce its usefulness. As compared to the other things, this is more likely to be the answer because when we are understanding these factors under these things, there could be some bias. So pestle analysis is prone to bias which can reduce its usefulness. Since C and D are absolutely not applicable, we adopt B because it could be a possibility that there is certain amount of bias included when the analysis is taken up. 45th question, is that clear? Now 45th one, H is a large vehicle manufacturing company in country F which has recently decided to undertake environmental analysis. Which one of the following factors would most likely be identified under the political heading of a pestle analysis? Did you understand the question? Pearl says it's D. H is a large vehicle manufacturing company in country F which has recently decided to undertake environmental analysis. Which one of the following factors most likely be identified under the political heading of a pestle analysis? Which one is a political heading? Which one is political among these four? Which one of them fall under the category of political? What does A fall under? The point A falls under which category? Are you there? Technological. Okay. B, B, recycling is seen as being increasingly important by residents of the country. So it is environmental recycling. Increased disposable income of consumers within country F. Increasing in disposable income. Economic. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. The last one falls under political. So the answer is D. Next question 46. G supplies electronic components to the automobile industry by exporting from the home country in which it is currently based. G is considering opening a manufacturing base overseas in country X. Recommend which three of the following are sources of information that G could use when evaluating potential countries to invest in. How many should we select? We should select three. Select three out of five. What happened? There's no response. Okay, you agree with D? Only one answer I got, D. Amnesty International Human Rights Record Analysis for Country X. No, actually, this we'll address it little later. 46th question, put it on hold. There is a purpose why I'm putting it on hold. We'll analyze this little later after we have a little clearer understanding of another concept. After that only we'll do this. We'll do 47th now. Okay, let's 47. Which three of the following are forces within Porter's five forces model? This is a generic answer. Now you should be able to answer this question. Which three of the following are forces? Who all are active? Such questions help us to understand. So these questions do not require anyone's help. You can answer them, but still, if they are not responding, I think um, they've just logged in and disappeared from the site. That's it. There is nothing, no difficulty in this question, answering this question. But it's still, if they are not answering, it means that they are not there. 48th question. X is a marketing services company providing consultancy to a range of business clients. As part of its strategic planning process, X has made several changes that seem to have had an impact on its business environment. Evaluate each factor according to Porter's five forces model analysis. X and its rivals have managed to persuade the government to require all marketing services companies to complete a time consuming and bureaucratic registration process and to comply within an industry code of conduct. This represents a decrease in dash. X has persuaded its entire staff to sign a new contract which prevents them from working for any rival company for a period of 2 years. Should they resign? This represents a decrease in dash. For one, what is the right thing? You think B is the right thing? B is threat of new entrants. What is the X and its rivals have managed to persuade the government to require all marketing services to complete some registration process. So one is threat of new entrants. So uh, they have they have somehow convinced the government, persuaded the government to include certain procedure process, that is the bureaucratic registration process. So when it becomes a time consuming, lengthy process and to comply with the industry code of conduct. So one is A. Yes, one is A because no, one is B. I'm really sorry. Not one is A. One is B because they are they have managed to persuade. Now it is registration process is at the time of registering their business. So registration process. So one is not A, one is B. It is not for those who are already there in this picture. It is for those that have to go through that initial registration process. So B is the right thing. Am I clear? Threat of new entrants. Okay. Second one, X has persuaded its entire staff to sign a new contract which prevents them from working for any rival company for a period of 2 years. Should they resign? It's a time consuming. And therefore, because it's a time consuming, new businesses may not be interested to go through a procedure which is not which is time consuming, which is bureaucratic, which is lengthy, which they where they have to comply with the industry code of conduct, all of them. So then they may not be interested to enter into that particular industry. When they do not enter into that industry, threat is decreasing. Threat is a danger. No, when they enter, it becomes a threat. When they enter into the market, it becomes threat. When they do not enter into the market, threat is decreasing. Danger is decreasing. No, Sunita, did you understand that? Okay, okay. Second one. Second one talks about. They have persuaded their staff to sign a new contract which prevents them from working for any rival company for a period of 2 years should they resign. This represents a decrease in dash. Substitutes. Substitutes is about the products. All of you are with A. Read the first paragraph. X is a marketing services company. Marketing services company providing consultancy to range of business clients. So they are into providing consultancy services to a range of business clients. As a part of its strategic planning process, X has made several changes that seem to have had an impact on its business environment. Evaluate each factor according to Porter's five forces model analysis. Are they into producing products or rendering services? Consultancy services. The marketing services company. So who would their suppliers be? Who would their buyers be? Competitive rivalry is not with the employees. Competitive rivalry is absolutely not with the employees, but it is about the strategy what they are adopting. Either they cut down on the cost and cut down on the selling price, or they compete in terms of the product features. So here it is about the employees who are persuaded to sign some agreement. So that is the issue there. So now, since they are into a consultancy business, wherein they provide services in terms of recruitment and all. So, um, if they do not work with this organization, they cannot also work uh, with others. So that is the issue here. So where does it fit? I feel A is not the answer. Disha has a change in answer. She says the power of suppliers. Do you agree so? Do you agree with that? Now, since they are into consultancy business, they are into providing a man force. They provide. They are into providing the um, employees to the organizations. So they help in recruitment and they help in hiring of the jobs. So here, because the nature of the business is not into production but into rendering services, more so very specifically with consultancy services, services in business with consultancy services. So if they do not work, the employees do not work, they cannot join some others. That is, they are putting their, they are controlling the threat of suppliers. Who are the suppliers? Who supply? Employees, manpower, man force. So they're cutting down on the suppliers part of it. Competitive strategy is not the right thing because it is not about the pricing part of it and the other issues about innovation, research, and development. It is about um, the employees who would continue to work with them, not leave them. If they leave them, they will join their suppliers. If they join their suppliers, suppliers will. They are very powerful because they take these employees and then supply to someone else. So they can cut down on the threat of suppliers by persuading the employees to sign an agreement. I hope that's clear. Q is an electrical appliance manufacturer and currently specializes in the manufacture of domestic vacuum cleaners. Q operates in this market with four other companies. Each manufacturer similar products. Each manufacturer similar products and sell similar volumes of vacuum cleaners every year. Q and its rivals own a large number of patents relating to the manufacture of vacuum cleaners. Q buys its raw materials through a number of small suppliers, as do its um, rivals. From the information below, information above, which one of the following forces from Porter's five forces model would be classified as high? Which one? Which one do you think is the right one? Threat of substitute. Others, please respond. Please respond. Okay, read the content once again. These are coming in D's set of substitutes. Is it about substitute? Substitute is about the product, isn't it? Um, the preference of customers, whether they are okay with using the substitute product. D is power of supplier. Read the content once again and then let me know. Q and its rivals own a large number of patents relating to the manufacture of vacuum cleaners. Q buys its raw materials through a number of small suppliers, as do its rivals. It's about rivalry. Don't you think so? It's about what strategy they are adopting. It is about, see, here in this case, it is about research and innovation. So it's focusing on the patents. It is the number of patents they have, the advancement which they have, the strategy which they are adopting. Either it could be on account of cost cutting down, or it is about the research and development. Here it is about the patents, the rivalry. So rivalry, when it is the issue, C is the answer. Okay, C is the answer. Then we have 50th question. Why offers consumers insurance products, including car and life insurance? According to Porter's five forces model, which one of the following would indicate that the manufacturer, when it comes to substitutes, substitute should include about the customer perspective, because when the customers are okay with using the substitutes, then substitutes become threat. That is the focus area what we talk about substitutes. When the customers are okay with, so it includes their tastes and preferences. But if the customers are very specific about the product which they are using, like some of them, those who use coffee would not be willing to have tea. So that is the example, best example what we can quote that. But some of them are okay with any type of that. But the question is not addressing the consumer's perspective at all. That we can address it as a threat of substitute. It is about the similar type of products, so homogeneous competition. That is the scenario here. But it is not mentioning that the consumer was okay with using a particular thing. That is not mentioned. So therefore, we cannot take that to be as a threat of substitute. Okay. Why offers consumer insurance products including car and life insurance? According to Porter's five forces model, which one of the following would indicate that the power of buyers in wise industry is high? Just a minute, give me 1 minute's time. Okay. Um, so you say C. Most of you have agreed with C. C is the answer. Why customers typically use comparison websites to see how much their insurance would cost from a number of different suppliers. Okay. So here this is specifically addressing about the power of the buyers. When the power of buyers is C is the appropriate. A would become adding a number of features differentiating from those. So this is competitive rivalry. Why has few rivals in the car and life insurance market? Okay, this is also competitive rivalry. Why customers are legally required to have car insurance? So where what does that come under? Whether you want to ask something? We are okay. We are doing competitive Porter's five forces. We are doing Porter's five forces. Where will it come? it is a perspective. It is a aspect of the buyers only. But are they a threat? It is only one requirement of the buyers to have something, right? Um, that is not the right option. Let's move 51. Question number 51. ZPLC is using Fortis Five Forces model to examine the key aspects of the organization's industry that may impact upon strategy. It has identified the following issues. Fine. One of Z's customers is considering backward integration with of their supply chain. ZPLC and its rivals have secured exclusive agreements with all major distribution channels for their products. Z has managed to achieve significant economies of scale and in its manufacturing processes. For each of the above issues Z has identified, decide which forces they relate to and whether the force is increased or decreased by placing the relevant issue number in the appropriate box below. Note each box can be used more than once and each number can be placed in more than one box. Let's discuss about power of customers. Power of customers, threat of substitute, threat of new entrants. Um, or let's see from 1 to 3. One is one of Z's customers is considering backward integration of their supply chain. Backward integration, then in that case, what happens? The power of customers, does it increase or decrease? What does it mean by backward integration? You there? What does it mean by backward integration? Is the business considering backward integration or the customer is considering backward integration? Who's considering backward integration? The customer is considering backward integration. So the customer may not, if they consider backward integration, customer may not uh, consider buying it from ZPLC. Therefore, if they think about customer backward integration, they think about going backward. It's not about ZPLC thinking about backward integration. It is the customer of Z thinking about going for backward integration. So what are they doing? Their power is increasing. So one talks about the power of customers increasing. Is that clear? So one falls under the power of customers increasing. Do you agree with that? Is that clear? Respond to me. Okay. Second one, ZPLC and its rivals have secured exclusive agreements with all major distribution channels for their products. So the power of customers, who are customers? Those who buy from them. They are customers. So the power of customers, the threat of substitutes or threat of new entrants, which category does it fall under? Distribution channels are their customers. You understand that? So when they are selling their product through distribution channels, distributors will be their customers. Why are you not responding? So is it the power is increasing or decreasing? I told you that distributors are customers. Am I audible? Is there some issue? Am I audible? Okay, done. Fine. I told you that the distributors are their customers. So they have um, secured exclusive agreement. So something like they're bringing them into an agreement sort of thing. They cannot um, I mean, breach that agreement and then go forward and do that. So, what are they compelling their customers to buy from them only? Because they have some exclusive agreements. If they have exclusive agreements, uh, they have to abide by the terms and conditions mentioned in the agreement. So, here in this case, the power of customers is decreasing. So, second comes under something like I told you about switching costs. So once they enter into a subscription, as long as they continue to be the customers, they can avail the benefits associated with the subscription. But once they move from that subscription, then they cannot get the benefits. So something like that. So if you are a member of a particular a shop or a store or mall or something like that, as long as you're a member of that, you can get the discount benefits or something like that, whatever are associated with that. So for that, there's some subscription amount, membership fees or something like that would be there. If you move from one business to another business, in that case, you will have to forego the benefits which are associated with that. So also here, they have secured some exclusive agreements, so subscription fees kind of thing, switching cost. So in that case, they will not move from one uh, competitor to another competitor, one business to another business. So the power of customers has reduced. Okay. Do you think it falls under any other category also apart from power of customers? Focusing on switching cost. What happened? Is this so very difficult that you are not able to answer this one? Once they are with a particular business, then in that case they will also not think about going to the rivals, and also the new entrants also, because the new entrants will understand that since they have their customers are tied up in these agreements, they will not move to any other business, so the power of new entrants also will reduce, isn't it? So the power of new entrants also will reduce here. So two also falls under this category. Z has managed to achieve significant economies of scale in its manufacturing processes. Economies of scale. Economies of scale. What does it say? Economies of scale says that when the scale of operation increases, or when the production happens on a large scale, then in that case the cost of the production reduces. Why? Because it says that decrease in threat, the decrease in threat of what? Threat of what? Threat of so you have to be specific. Threat of what? So already the unit which is established sometime back, they will have a higher new entrance. Yes, they will have a mm, higher share of market. Their production capacity at which they are operating increases. Once they start operating at higher levels, since their fixed cost recovers, they will have to only spend on their variable cost. Therefore, it becomes possible for them to cut down on the cost and provide it at a cheaper rate. So that is the benefit of economies of scale. When there are the scale of operation, when it increases, then it becomes economical for them. So economies of scale, that is possible for already established business. So this is already an established business. um, that has managed to achieve that significant economies of scale. So they have reached that level where they can give a reduction in the price. So price decrease is possible, but that is not possible for a new entrant. New entrant cannot afford to cut down on the price, because for them the fixed cost still have to be recovered. So the cost is high for a new entrant. In that case, the new entrant will not be able to face the competition with an already established firm where they have achieved the economies of scale. So here we also have the third one. OFG PLC is a manufacturer of military hardware. It sells to a number of countries, although this is heavily regulated by the central government of its home country, country J. OFG feels that its major competitive advantage over its two major industry rivals is its strength in research and development. This is important given the fast changing nature of its market. OFG has recently formed a joint venture with one of its rivals to develop a new weapons satellite system. Which two of the following options are possible reasons why OFG would find the use of Fortis 5 forces model of limited use, limitations of um, 5 forces model. Hello? Ani akka? కొడుతున్నాను మళ్ళీ కొడుకుంటున్నా OFG has very few competitive rivals. OFG operates in a fast moving industry. Porter's five forces assumes that rivals do not act collaboratively. The five forces model focuses solely on industry profitability. Which two of the following options are the possible reasons? Let's put that maybe you're not aware of what are the limitations of Porter's five forces model. Just have a look at that and then let me know. These are limitations of the five forces model. So when these are limitations of five forces model, which two of the following options are possible reasons why OFG would find the use of Porter's five forces model of limited use? So limitations. So which two of them are appropriate? It's not applicable to OFG has a very few competitive rivals. Even if they are few also, if their strategies are strong, then that will be a threat of the competitor rivalry. So we cannot say that that is not applicable in case where the competitive rivals are less or few in number. So it is still applicable. The model can be still used in such scenario also. B is OFG operates in a fast moving industry. So if it is a fast moving industry, it is not applicable to them because they keep making changes very rapidly. Fast moving industry changes are quick to make and they become the leaders in that. So maybe that is not applicable for them. So, so it says that um, it says that difficult to apply for competence based business businesses. So for fast moving it is not applicable. That is what so here it cannot be applied to fast moving. So B is the right option. Okay. Fortis five forces assumes that the rivals do not act collaboratively. They can also act in joint ventures collaboratively. They can act. So it says that individually one rival is acting against the other rivals, but in reality they form into cartels, they form into groups, and then they see that new entrants do not enter into the market and they dictate the prices to the customers in the market. So if they act collaboratively it cannot be um, applied, right? So it says that five forces assume that rivals do not act collaboratively. The five forces model focuses solely on industry profitability. Profit is their criteria. So B and C is the answer. X is a company offering its customers broadband internet access. It sells to both residential customers as well as businesses. X is considering a major investment in its IT systems, which it hopes will deliver a competitive advantage. The new systems will improve customer service levels and reduce the cost of routine processes. Although the investment will cost several million dollars, X expects payback to be very fast. In the short term, X expects that excellent customer service will be a core competence. However, X accepts that its competitors will catch up within 5 years, making excellent customer service a threshold competence. Advise X which three of the competitive forces in the industry will be affected by this investment. So here, how many should we choose? We should choose three. Please answer which three of the following. You say B is the answer. What happened? Students start dropping out, or they keep sleeping when the class is going on. Only few regular names they respond. See, I don't know who you are. I have not seen you. I will not have an impression if you give me a wrong answer. Very difficult to remember the who answered which one right or which one wrong, or that is not possible to for me to remember. It's just an opportunity which is given to you to look into the question, understand how to answer them. So this is more helpful for you to face such similar questions which appear in the exam. Participate in that. Please participate in the answers, because I do not know who you are. I would not even, I mean, after the session ends, I will not recollect anything because I do not know who you are there on the other side of the class. But definitely it is beneficial for you because you will get a chance to answer such questions. Find A, B, C, A, B, D. Okay, they're considering a major investment in IT systems, which hopes to deliver a competitive advantage. The new system will improve customer service levels and reduce the cost of routine process. Reduce the cost of routine processes. So, so they are achieving that economies of scale. When they achieve the economies of scale, then they can eliminate the new entrants when they achieve the economies of scale. So new entrants can be eliminated is one point there. Okay. Then although the investment will cost several million dollars, X expects payback to be very fast. In the short term, X expects that excellent customer service will be a core competence. However, X expects its competitors will catch up within 5 years, expecting excellent customer services, a threshold competence. So, because of this new investment proposal, and since they have already reduced, they have put an effort to reduce that and achieve that reduction in cost of routine processes, that can affect their um, the new entrants. Then because they are pouring in too much of investment, and then they can they will improve the customer service levels, so that can affect their customer competitive rivalries, right? um, their profitability, though the cost is more, then they see that uh, they can get back their return very fast. That is what it says. In short, X expects an excellent customer service with a core competence. However, X expects that its competition will catch up within 5 years. So, do we see a substitute anywhere in this picture? We do not see that. So, threat of substitutes can be ruled out from this picture. Then we have power of buyers. Now, it only talks about whether it will be increased, decreased is not the situation. Whether it will be affected by this. Yes, buyers will be affected in a positive way. So we can put this one. Is there any mention about the suppliers? So there's nothing mentioned about the suppliers. So we go with A, B, and D. That's the answer. 54. Uh, Pink is a distributor of garden furniture, chairs, tables, parasols, loungers, which it sells wholesale to a wide range of retailers such as specialist stores and hypermarkets. The board of Pink is currently analyzing its business environment, as has noticed that some of its large customers are automating their procurement and inbound logistic processes by using bots. At present, Ping does not have any automated processes in its outbound logistics or marketing and sales functions. The board is not aware that any of Ping's rivals are yet using or planning to use bots in those functions. The board is understandably concerned by the adoption of new technologies by customers and wishes to understand the threat that they pose to Ping's competitive strategy. Analyze the above information and identify which of Porter's five forces as they relate to Ping are likely to have been affected by the change noticed by the board. Select all that apply. They are not specific. All that applies again a very risky thing. Two or three, something like that, we can stick to that. What applies, what doesn't apply, we do not know. So out of the five options, how many apply, how many do not apply, also we do not know. So this is an open-end case. So in that case, how to analyze that? Please, all of you, please read this case once again and then give me the answer. See, if A is the option, do you think A will be the option here? Please respond. No, no is your answer. You're saying set of new entrants is not there. C and E. C is competitive rivalry. E is power of customers. Others, please respond. C is competitive rivalry. Okay. Disha has given the answer C and D. Let's evaluate those options. C, competitive rivalry. None of the competitors are using bots. So there is no threat from the competitive rivalry. All of them stand on par now. Fine. The customers are automating their procurement and inbound logistics. So the customers are considering the use of the bots, but Ping doesn't have this application. Ping is not as of now using. Their customers, their competitors are also not using. So we can rule out competitive rivalry altogether because nobody is using that. Fine. Then option E also is the power of customers. Yes, it is very high. The power of customers because customers have an expectation that they want bots to be used. Inbound logistic processes, logistics talks about the supply of material. So inbound, when they are buying from the business, uh, they are moving the material or the products from the from Pink organization Pink to their warehouses, to their store. So there they want to apply this technology bots. The last line says. The board is understandably concerned about the adoption of new technology by customers and wishes to understand the threat that they pose to Pink's competitive strategy. Is that the line? The entire model is about competitive strategy. No. So to face the competition, the Photo's five forces model is called as five forces of competition. Okay. So they do not understand the threat that they pose to their competitive strategy. So for their competitive strategy, what they are supposed to do is this strategy. So what they are supposed to do and what threat do they have from which of these forces? That is the meaning of that, right? So E is definitely a threat because customers' expectation has increased. When customers' expectation has increased, it is a power of customers, but it is not a competitive rivalry because no competitor has this technology with them. So in that case, we can rule out the competitive rivalry. Supplier is nowhere in the picture, so we cannot include power of supplier. Are the substitutes in place of bot technology? Is there any other substitute? No. Now there is an expectation from the customers. Okay, it says that the board of think is currently analyzing its business environmental and has noticed that some of its large customers are automating their procurement and inbound logistic process by using bots. In that case, if a new entrant is technologically having that advanced features within this technology of bot usage and all, then it becomes very easy for a new entrant to enter into the market, because they have a demand for that. They have a market for this particular technology. If some new entrant has this technology available with them, then they can become a threat to the business. That is the point here. Fine, we've ruled out competitive rivalry, suppliers, and the substitutes. Now we see new entrants. Can we justify new entrants? Yes, we can justify that in the way that because there is a demand there. The customers' expectation, and the customers are not a small group, but it's a large customers. Large group of customers are uh, having this expectation. A new entrant who possesses this technology, who has a competitive advantage of this technology, can become a threat to the business. Therefore, A becomes the right option. Is that clear? Shruti, others? Is this clear? A and E will be the right options. Okay. Yes, please. Then we have life cycle analysis. DPLC manufactures a range of products including the TT155. The TT155 was seen as being extremely innovative on its launch 2 years ago, and has experienced high sales growth. Its sales growth, while still high, has fallen in recent months due to a number of rivals launching products similar to the TT155. D has started investing in advertising as well as legal action against some rivals for copying patented design features of the TT155. This has led to the TT155 experiencing relatively low profitability. Which stage of the product life cycle is the TT155 currently within? Growth, decline, maturity, introduction. Which stage? See, what did we understand about the life cycle? About the life cycle during the introduction phase, only they are there with their new product introduced into the market. It is still, the risk is still very high because there is no assurance that the product will be accepted by the customer. So acceptance chances are not known. Once it crosses the introduction level, it goes into growth phase where new competitors, new entrants come into this picture. Then, uh, in that case, also the risk would be high because they are not sure of their market share. Then it goes to maturity level. When it goes to maturity level, then it settles down and the risk falls. And then we see the decline stage. And the decline stage. Okay, the decline stage where the risk falls down because there's no more investing in this, and um, it settles. I mean, the investment will be diverted to other products. The situation talks about um, was been extremely innovative on its launch 2 years ago and has experienced high sales growth. Its sales growth, while still high, has fallen in recent months due to a number of rivals launching products. So others have entered into the market. It's not introduction; it crossed the introduction. Okay, sorry. A is not A is growth. Like that. I'm really sorry. Okay. A is growth. I thought A would be introduction. I'm really sorry. Okay. So number of rivals have launched their products. D has started investing in advertising as well as legal action. So when number of rivals enter into the market, it would be growth phase. Okay. Disha has answered it. It is the growth phase. So we have to understand this to be as growth phase. Why? Because they are the leaders. They have crossed that introduction stage. They've launched a new product. um, Fine. Now suddenly they see that their sales have decreased because of rivals entering into the market. Rivals enter into the market in a phase of growth, right? They are still not sure in that phase because they are they have started capturing their customers. But when rivals enter, at that time, who would how much market share they would have is still not sure because it is the customer trying out the new competitors' product. So that's when the risk is high in that phase because till then it was monopoly only they were there in that introduction stage. Now when the new competitors come, the customers move towards that. It is still the testing phase. So they have recently seen that there was a fall in their sales. Yes, has fallen in recent months due to number of rivals launching the product because that second stage where the customers want to try out the products of other competitors who entered into the market. So it's good. Yes, Nisha? Nisha. When it comes to maturity phase, everybody will have their defined because the customers also understand what is their requirement and what are the product features. Then they settle down. So there, that stability comes, that saturation, maturity, where everyone will have their own thing. Here, when it is the testing phase where the customers are trying out on other products. 56th question. Price cutting and reduced promotion are typical strategies at which stage of the product life cycle? Decline is the answer. Yes, decline is the answer. Going rate pricing would be most economical at which stage of the product life cycle? Going rate it settles down. Maturity is the answer. Okay, we'll end this class here. Tomorrow we'll start and then there's one more topic under this particular unit, um, Porter's Diamond, that talks about foreign markets and the reasons to enter into foreign markets and the other strategies which have to be adopted. We still have not discussed questions on competitor analysis. So we'll discuss competitor analysis and other the questions which are there under that. Then we'll discuss also about the Porter's diamond model. Any doubts? Okay. Fine. We'll meet tomorrow at 9:30. Good day.